Alrighty guys, welcome to a new video, and today I'm going to show you guys a few things that I believe is definitely going to increase your enjoyment when it comes to grappling in EA Sports UFC 3, and I'm specifically talking about momentum transitions. Now when I say momentum transitions, I'm talking about those transitions that you can speed up using either your own momentum or the momentum of your opponent. And these are scattered all over the grappling. You have them in the clinch, you have them in different positions on the ground, and I'm going to try to break this down into different positions starting with the clinch, and I'm going to run through it and show you guys all the important ones to keep in mind. Now I'm going to be doing this with two controllers, so bear with me if there are any minor mistakes with the transition, but kind of difficult trying to do this with two controllers. But we're going to start things off with the clinch right here. First one I'm going to show you is in the single collar clinch. Let's say that you're Chris Weidman and you are facing a Jacare Souza and they get you in the single collar clinch right there. Now you're in a single collar clinch and you're Chris Weidman. From this position, Weidman has a few options when it comes to takedowns. When you hold L2 as Chris Weidman, all your options present themselves. As you can see, you've got the single leg, you've got the double leg, you've got the leg grab. If you were to go for the leg grab right there, I'm going to show you guys right there, I'm going to go for the leg grab. Watch how slow that is. See that? That is going to give your opponent more than enough time to read that animation and deny it. Now, how can you speed that up? You can speed that up with a momentum transition, and the only way to do that is if your opponent gets you in the Muay Thai plum. So once you notice, boom, now you're in the Muay Thai plum. No matter how you get into the Muay Thai plum, once you're there, what you do is you transition directly back to single collar, and once you transition back to single collar, hit that leg grab takedown, and it's going to be way faster, like this. See that? See how much quicker that takedown attempt was? Let's try that one more time. I'm gonna do that one more time here. Jacare Souza gets you in the Muay Thai plum. Get here. There you go. You get back to single collar, hit the leg grab, and he's on his back before he knows it. The only way for the opponent to deny that takedown attempt is they have to anticipate it. They have to know you're going to do that, and they're going to need to pre-deny to be able to stop that. That's number one in the clinch. Second one I want to show you guys in the clinch has to do with the back clinch. Let's say you're Chris Weidman and you're trying to take this man down from the back clinch. With some fighters, you can do directly this. You do this by holding L2 and L1 and flick down on your right stick. That gets them directly into double underhooks. From double underhooks, you can transition to the back clinch, and from here, Chris Weidman has a few options. Of course, you can take his back sit-in, you can break, or you can perform a suplex or suplex high. You get these options by pressing L2, your takedowns show themselves. Suplex, you press L1 while holding L2, you get the suplex high. Now from here, I'm going to show you guys how slow this takedown attempt is. Watch this. See that? That is slow. That is pretty slow. Anyone that knows how to play the game will be able to read that attempt, and they will be able to stop you before you get them down. So what do? You get them in double underhooks, you transition the back clinch, and immediately you hit the suplex. That is your momentum transition in that position. One more time, I'll show it to you guys. Come over here, Jacare. You get him in the double underhooks. The second you get to back clinch, hit it. It's going to speed up that suplex and you get them to the ground. Mind you, this also speeds up the suplex high. I'll show you. Get to back clinch and you hit it. Look at how quick and fast that is, and that also does quite a bit of damage. So that is it for the momentum transitions in the clinch. Now we're going to move on to the momentum transitions on the ground. Alright, so now you're on the ground and you're Chris Weidman, and you absolutely hate grappling and you want nothing to do with grappling. What I see a lot of players start to do is once they get taken down, they start to spaz. You see them attempt the get-ups in all the different directions you can get up. They try to get up by going that direction. They try to get up by putting their feet on your hip by doing that. They try to get up in this direction, and all of these are ridiculously slow. Any good player on top of you will be able to deny all of that on reaction. You don't want to do that. What do you do then? How do you speed up your get up attempt. You can do that with a momentum transition. Look at Chris Weidman's HUD right there on the right. Do you see the one that says full guard? That is there for you to cause a bump. See that? When you hit that, you bump Jacare Souza. That creates momentum. Now, once you bump him to your left and you hit the takedown, the get up attempt to your right, that get up attempt is sped up. Let's do it one more time. You're on the bottom. I want to get up. I want to do it fast. Look how slow that is. See how slow that is? You don't want to do that. You don't want to go with that one. You're never going to get up when you're facing a good player doing that. Instead, they hit you like that. Remember though, when you're facing a good player, they're going to anticipate all of this, so you got to be tricky. So once they get you there, fake. Hit a fake, hit a fake, hit a fake, fake that way, fake this way, fake that way, real one, and then get up to your right. See how quick that was? A lot faster. Try that. Next one I'm going to show you guys is also in full guard, but this one has to do with when they posture up. Let's say that you're Chris Weidman facing a Jacare, and Jacare postures up. This is not a good place to be. From here, they can do a lot of damage. They can work your body. They can work your head. They can do so much here. You don't want it. Now, what do you do, though? A lot of players will try to get up from here. They'll try to get up to the left. That is very easy to read and very easy to deny. They try to get up to the right. Don't do that. Easy to read and deny. Or they do this one. Easy to read, easy to deny. So how do you speed that up? How do you speed up your get up once the opponent postures up? Well, you do it with a momentum transition. The second you notice the opponent posture up, hit the get up attempt, the bottom one, the one where you put your feet on their hip, and you do that by holding your right stick down. So watch this. Jacare postures up, right stick down. See how quick that was? Look at how fast that was. He has no chance to stop that. Of course he does if he's a good player, but postures up, you hit that. That is ridiculously fast. The only way for a good player to stop that is by pre-denying. They cannot read the animation and deny it on time. They're going to need to anticipate you doing that, pre-deny, before they can stop it. Keep that in mind. Now, the next one I'm going to show you also has to do with posturing up. Now, let's say that you are Jacare Souza. You do have to have the transition to be able to do this one, but you're Jacare Souza and you have it in your arsenal and you get taken down. You get taken down by Chris Weidman. Now you're on the bottom and Chris Weidman gets to stacked guard. This is stacked guard. From here, you're going to notice that Jacare has this transition. Look at this. Full guard. You see that? When you hold your right stick down, Jacare Souza can reverse to full guard. You see that? But do you notice how slow that was? That's going to give your opponent more than enough time to see exactly what you're doing, and they will be able to deny that attempt. So instead, do it as a momentum transition. What do I mean? The second Chris Weidman postures up, hit it. Boom. See how quick that was? A lot faster. Only way that he'll be able to stop that is by denying it, by pre-denying it. If he doesn't pre-deny, he will not be able to stop it. Let's see if we can show that again. Get on top, Chris Weidman. Oh my God, he doesn't have it. All right, let's take him down again. Doing this thing with like 2 controllers is a pain in the you-know-what. Okay, Chris Weidman takes Jacare Souza down, gets to stat guard, Jacare hits, full guard transition, and right there. Keep that one in mind. Let's move on to the next one. All right, next one I'm going to show you guys also has to do with stat guard. Let's say that you are Chris Weidman. Your opponent makes his way to stat guard. This is a bad place to be. What options do you have? Of course, you can try feet on the hips to try to kick him off. But if you hold L1, you see the option that shows on the right? It says sprawl. You can sprawl either to the left or you can sprawl to the right. Now, when you hit sprawl, it takes you here. From this position right here, okay? Watch how slow this is. Going to over-under. Standing back up. Watch how slow this is. See that? that gives your opponent enough time to deny you. You don't want to do that. You don't want to give them enough space to deny that at all. So what you need to do, let's say your opponent takes you down. Jacare takes you down, gets himself to stat guard. You're Chris Weidman. Hold L1, hit the sprawl, and the second you get to sprawl, hold up on your right stick and watch how quickly you get back to your feet. Watch this. Oh, Jesus. There you go. Let's start over. I am now Chris Weidman. Watch how quickly I get back to my feet. Sprawl. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. You see how quick, how fast that was? Let's show it one more time. Jacare takes Chris Weidman down, gets back up, stat guard. Chris Weidman will do it in this direction. Sprawl, hold it. Boom, quick. Only way for them to deny that is by pre-denying. They have to anticipate you doing that. If they don't, they're not going to be able to deny that on time. All right, next one I'm going to show you guys. Let's move on. All right, now next one I'm going to show you benefits the fighter on top. Let's say that you're Jacare Souza and your opponent on the bottom does this. You see this right there? This is back sitting. They go to back sitting and they take your back. Now they've got your back. This is not a good place to be. It's not a good place to be. They can hold you here. They can attempt a rear naked choke. They can go to full mount. They can do a lot of things here. You don't want this. So what do? You can use momentum transition if you keep going in the same exact direction. So, right there, if Chris Weidman was to go for back sitting towards his right, you see that? Back sitting towards his right. Show that one more time. Back sitting. What you do as Jacare, keep going in that same direction with your right stick. So in this case, hold your right stick towards that same direction that he was going. And do you see how quick that was? Let me give you guys an idea of how slow that same transition is without the momentum transition. Now you're Jacare. Watch this. Watch how slow this is. You see that? See how slow that is? That is ridiculously slow. Now watch how much faster it is. He hits it. You keep going in the same direction. Boom. A lot faster. So keep that in mind. You can do that in either direction. Doesn't matter. As long as you keep rolling in the same exact direction that they started, you're going to return right back to full guard. Now, the next one I'm going to show you guys is pretty damn cool. It starts off in postured up guard. Let's say that you're Chris Weidman. Your opponent tries to punch you. You arm trap. Of course, you arm trap. Let's get right back because I know one of you is going to ask me how to do that. You arm trap when you're the bottom guy by holding block. That's R2. And you flick your right stick in whatever direction their punch is coming from. So in this case, Jacare will punch me with his left arm. That's towards my right. So I flick towards my right and I arm trap. Now, from here, as you can see, Chris Weidman has an option to roll to top mount. See this? As Chris Weidman, now that you've arm trapped Jacare, you can reverse him to top mount. If you do that, Jacare has an option to keep rolling in the same exact direction that you went and return to full guard. Here's what it looks like. Roll the top mount. Now watch this. Jacare keeps rolling. Boom. And your ass is right back in full guard. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to show you what I did. So Jacare punches, arm trap. Now Chris Weidman rolls him to top mount. From here, what you need to do as Jacare is hold L1. When you hold L1, you see that? You see your options right there. You can go to full guard towards this direction or full guard towards that direction. Now watch how slow this is. If I was to just go to full guard from here, watch how slow this is. Look at this. That takes forever, bro. That takes an eternity. It doesn't need to take forever. Posture up. I try to hit him. He arm traps. And oh no, I'm getting flipped. Immediately hold L1. Keep going in the same direction. And you have him right back where you started. That one comes in handy. Keep it in mind. Now, the next one I'm going to show you guys also happens in full guard. And to demonstrate, I'm going to use GSP and Nick Diaz. Now, when you look at Nick Diaz and you look at the right side and you see his options, he's got a few options right there, but one of them says rubber guard. So when Nick Diaz puts you in rubber guard, let's say you're GSP, with Nick, he can transition, as you can see right there, he can go to full guard, get right back to rubber guard, he can sweep you to side control, or he can sweep you to top mount right there. These are his options. Now let's say that your GSP, Nick Diaz, puts you in rubber guard and he's able to sweep you to side control. Let's just say this happens, okay? Now you're in side control. I want you to pay attention to how slow this transition is from side control back to half guard. Look at this here. You see that? Your opponent has enough time to deny that on reaction. How about this one? This one's even a lot slower. If you were to try to get up from here, directly from side control back to your feet as GSP, which I see a lot of people do, look at how slow this is. See that? That takes an eternity. That takes forever to happen. So, how can you speed up the process? GSP takes down Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz puts GSP in rubber guard. And then Nick Diaz sweeps GSP to side control. Watch how quickly I get back to half guard here. See that? That is a momentum transition. The moment you are swept to side control, immediately hit the half guard transition. That is to your left, and you're going to get back to half guard a lot quicker. Now, let me show you guys the second option. Second option is the get up option. Let's get Nick Diaz. Oh, shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, this works. Nick Diaz gets GSP back to full guard. Gets GSP to rubber guard. Now I'm gonna roll GSP to side control. Watch this get up right here, how fast it is. Look at that. See that? How quick that was. Remember how slow it was the first time? Let's show you guys one more time. You take down Nick Diaz. He puts you in rubber guard, and somehow he's able to roll you to side control. If you want to get back to your feet, immediately hit it, and it's going to be sped up. Now the next one I'm going to show you guys is also in rubber guard, but to show you this one I'm going to need, I believe I'm going to need Nick Diaz and Damian Maya. So I'm going to go grab Damian Maya and I'll be right back. Alright, so here we are, Nick Diaz and Damian Maya. So remember, Nick is able to put you in rubber guard. Remember the first option that I showed you guys was his transition to side control right there. But Nick can also transition to top mount. He can also roll you to top mount. Right there. You see that? Now, the same principle applies to the principle that I showed you guys with the arm trap from guard. When you arm trap and the opponent is able to roll you to top mount, if you have this transition right here, this transition where you can roll them to full guard, you can also reverse Nick Diaz here back to full guard when he rolls you to mount. And you just need to keep going in the same exact direction. Now remember how slow this is if you just hit it. Look at this. That takes an eternity. It takes forever. Now let me show you guys how fast this is. Nick Diaz puts you in rubber guard. Nick Diaz rolls you to top mount. Keep going in the same exact direction. Look at that. Quick. Let's show it to you guys one more time. Rubber guard. Nick Diaz rolls you to top mount. Keep rolling in the same direction. Hold L1. Hold your right stick to the left. And you reverse Nick Diaz back exactly where he started. Also keep this one in mind. It's going to come in handy. Alright, so we are right back with Chris Weidman and Jacare Souza. And we are now in half guard. Let me show you guys 4 momentum transitions in half guard that you need to remember. So let's say that you or Chris Weidman. Let's say you are Jacare Souza on top of a Chris Weidman player. And the Chris Weidman player, as you can see right there, he's got an option to return to full guard. You see that right there? He also has an option to go to back sit-in. Alright, going to back sit-in is going to take your back. If you somehow were to allow your opponent on the bottom to transition to back sit-in, as long as you keep rolling in the same exact direction, you should be able to get back to full guard and get back to full guard very quickly. Remember, this was the same exact type of transition that I showed you guys from guard. When the opponent gets you to back sit-in, it's the same exact principle. So Chris Weidman rolls to back sit-in, you keep rolling to your right, the same direction, and you return to full guard. See that? Let's do that one more time. Chris Weidman rolls to back sit in. Keep going in the same direction that he rolled. That's to the right, and you return back to full guard. Let me show you guys the next one. Next one happens from half guard postured up. When the top fighter goes from half guard postured up to side control, you, Chris Weidman, can transition back to half guard quicker. Let me show you guys. So let's say you're Chris Weidman, the opponent postures up to half guard. This is a dangerous place to be. And somehow they make their way to side control. Watch how quickly you can get back to half guard. Boom! Instantaneous. Quick. Let's show that one more time. They go to side control, immediately hit it. Before they even settle down, you can hit that attempt and you're right back in half guard. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to deny. If you also have the get up, you can attempt the get up from here. Watch this, side control. Boom. That gets you right back to your feet. Those of you that don't want anything to do with the ground game, now you know how to handle that. Let me show you guys one more. Let me show you in half guard here. Come on, Jacare. This one should be in mounts. Let's get to half guard right here. So, when the top fighter, so when Jacare Souza gets to mount, you as Chris Weidman can perform a very cool heel hook submission. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So, you're Chris Weidman, and you have the heel hook submission from top mount bottom. Jacare gets to top mount. Watch this. When you hold L2, you see the transition right there, the submission that shows up that becomes an option? It says heel hook. If you were to go for this heel hook just from mount bottom, watch how slow this is. Look at that. That takes an eternity. Clear this out, clear this out. Now, let me show you guys how much quicker it is when you hit it as they transition to top mount. You can only hit it this way if they transition to top mount from half guard. So, your Chris Weidman, Jacare Souza gets to top mount, hit it. Look at that. Look at that. Butter. Smooth. Now, let me show you guys one little trick. This is the one that I personally like to do. It is not a momentum transition, but just something to keep in mind. Let's say that you are Chris Weidman. You get taken down. Your opponent makes his way from half guard to top mount. Now, a lot of times you're going to be on the bottom, and you will have a player who knows how to deny all your attempts. You try to go this way, he denies it. You try to go that way, he denies it. You try to get him up, he denies it. You try to hold and you do everything in your power, but he's just posturing down, denying everything, hitting you with elbows all the time. You can force him to posture up, okay? If the player postures up, it's kind of easier to get to half guard from here. It just is. Now, a lot of times they will refuse to posture up. They just insist on posturing down. You can force them to posture up by faking the heel hook. You fake it, watch this. Postured up, now you hit it. See that? Show it to you guys one more time. If you have that heel hook transition, you're trying to get out, they're denying everything. Hit a fake right there. Fake heel hook, they posture up, and you're out. Unless the player is really anticipating that setup, it's going to be hard for them to catch what you're doing, especially if they don't deny that heel hook attempt. Once you fake that, it postures the player up, and you can get out of there. You can get yourself out of full mount. Look at that. Beautiful. Now they're postured. Now you can get out. So keep that in mind. Let's move on. Now, the next one I'm going to show you guys happens in side saddle. Let's say that you're Chris Weidman and you have a Jacare on top of you, and Jacare gets to side saddle. This position right here is called side saddle. From here you can get hit with elbows. I've also learned that denying transitions here is actually kind of easier, and it's a more secure position than side control. Now, if you're able as Chris Weidman to get back to side control, see that option right there? As Chris Weidman, you get back to side control. Rather than being stuck in side control, you can get yourself to sprawl a lot quicker. Now look at the normal speed for the sprawl transition. Look at this. Kind of fast, but most good grapplers will be able to stop that. Most good grapplers will be able to do it. But let's say they get you in side saddle. You're Chris Weidman. Watch this. You hit side control. You bump them one direction. Go to the next. There is no denying that unless they know exactly what you're about to do and they pre-deny. They will not be able to deny that on reaction. Let's show that one more time. Jacare gets you to side saddle. You get to side control and immediately you hit the other direction. That creates momentum that allows you to transition out. Keep that in mind. Now, next up is everyone's favorite position to despise. Crucifix. You are Jacare, and the opponent puts you in this dreaded crucifix. Oh my god. Oh lord. What do you do here? Now, what I notice a lot of players do once they get in crucifix is they start to panic. They're like, crucifix is so easy to hold. There's no way to deny this. There's no way to get out of it. Well, there is a way. If all you do is try to go out this way, it will be easy to stop. Don't do that. Let's get back to side control. Oh, come on, Chris. Come on, Chris. Don't embarrass me now. There you go. Crucifix. If you try to go to side control, the opponent will be able to block that. You try to go to side saddle this way, they'll be able to deny that. So what you do is you create momentum. You create momentum by bumping Chris like that. You see that? Once you bump him this way and you go the opposite direction, your side control transition is going to be faster, like this. Bump him, hit it. Side saddle, I meant to say. Let's show that to you guys one more time. Dude, I am getting kind of confused. Which one is Chris Weidman? This is Chris Weidman right here. Okay. Side control. Let's get back to crucifix. Watch this again. You bump to side saddle, transition the other side. See that? That is a lot quicker. That is way faster. Let's show that to you guys one more time, just so you have an idea of exactly what I'm talking about. Chris Weidman is able to get you. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's able to get you in cruise. This is always this right here is always the hardest one to do with two controllers. Hold on a sec. This controller right here is controlling Chris Weidman. Okay. Chris, if you don't mind, get back to crucifix so I can show these guys. Chris Weidman now has you in crucifix. You are Jacare. And I'm repeating this over and over again just for emphasis, just so you can see what I'm saying. Remember, don't bump this way. That does not create the momentum you need. If you bump this way and try to transition that way, it is still not going to be as quick. What you need to do is bump that way, go this way. Faster. All right? Keep that in mind. Now, sometimes you can hit the bump in the other direction and you can trick the opponent by going left. It definitely has worked for me, but I believe that the most consistent one is to bump to your left, create that momentum, bump to your right, and the opponent it's going to be very difficult for them to deny that. Now let's move on to backside. Now, let's say that you're Jacare. This is the backside position, and the opponent is in front of you in this position. What I like to do, and I think this has to be the momentum transition that I use the most in the game. From here, if you're Jacare, if you transition back to side control, okay, your transition back to sprawl will be sped up very greatly. Watch this. Side control, keep rolling in the same direction, sprawl. Let's try that one more time. Opponent makes their way to backside. You go to side control, keep going the same direction, a lot quicker. Let me give you guys a comparison, how slow it is if you don't keep going right away. Let's say you get to sprawl and you forget to keep rolling in the same direction, and now you want to do it. Watch this. That's kind of slow. That's kind of slow. They'll be able to deny that. But if you hit it and you keep rolling much faster, they will not be able to stop that. Also, keep in mind, let's get Chris Weidman to this position. Hopefully Jacare actually has this, but if you roll the side control, no. All right, I'm gonna show it to you guys with Chris Weidman. I believe Chris Weidman has that attempt. Get up, Chris. Jacare, you get up. Take down Chris Weidman. All right, let's make our way to backside here. All right, here we go. Okay, so now you are Chris Weidman. All right, Chris Weidman rolls to side control. You can speed up your get up if you keep rolling in the same exact direction. Here's what I mean. First, let me show you the get up. Chris has it. Beautiful. Now, watch how slow this get up is. Watch how slow this is. If you roll to your right, oh my God. That takes a century. You're never getting out if an opponent sees you try that. Don't even attempt that. Do this instead. Jacare gets you down. You end up in backside somehow. This is backside right here. Do this. Roll the side control. Hold L1. Keep rolling. And your get up is sped up. For those of you that want nothing to do with the ground game, that is going to help you get up a lot faster. And now, let's move on to the mount position. Now, this one's going to benefit the top player. A lot of times, these momentum transitions actually benefits the player on the bottom, but this one benefits the player on the top. Let's say that you are Chris Weidman on the bottom, okay? Actually, you're Jacare on top, because this benefits you. And your opponent is able to roll to back sit-in. If the bottom fighter holds L1, they can roll the back mount. This is back mount right there. You can roll the back mount. You see that? Now, let's say they roll to back mount. You, as Jacare on top, you have a few options. You can go to backside, to your left, backside, to your right, or you can flatten them out. This is what you do to flatten them out. You hold down on your right stick. See how slow that is? That's kind of slow, isn't it? Kind of slow. A good player will be able to deny that attempt to flatten them out. Oh, get back to mount, Jacare. Now, watch how quickly you can flatten them out if you do it at the very moment that they roll to your back. Watch this. Back mount. Boom. Flatten them out. Quick. Let's get back here. Show that to you guys one more time. They roll to their back. And you flatten them out. That is a momentum transition for the guy on the top. Keep that in mind. For the bottom fighter, let me show you guys one more to keep in mind. Let's say you're in top mount and somehow you make a mistake of rolling to your back. Maybe that's not what you wanted to do. Maybe you made a mistake of rolling to your back. If you keep rolling in the same exact direction, you're gonna roll back to top mount easy. Here's what it looks like. Roll, keep rolling, boom. You're right back to top mount. You can race. This is designed to race them. So like for some reason, if you were to get to back mount and you think they're gonna try to flatten you out, you can immediately hold your right stick in the same exact direction and get back to top mount and prevent them from flattening you out. So roll the back mount. Oh no, mistake. I want back to top mount. Oh shoot, not what I want. I want back to top mount. That is quick. You just roll over. So keep that in mind. Let's see what else is in mount. From Jacare here, I believe if Jacare goes to side control from mount, Weidman will be able to get back to half guard a lot quicker or get up quicker. Let's see. This is Jacare. So from here, Jacare can go to side control. Watch this. Side control. You as Weidman. See how quickly you got back to half guard. Show that to you guys one more time. Jacare gets to side control. A lot of times players will do that because they're more comfortable holding you in side control. Side control is more damaging than full mount sometimes. So sometimes a player will get you in top mount and you know what? I'd rather be in side control. No, sir. I want you in half guard. You can also do this. They're in top mount. They go to side control. If you have the get up transition, yeah, good luck with that, sir. You pop right back up. See that? Momentum transition. All right, next one I'm going to show you guys is going to be in back mount flat. Let's go. Now, this is going to be the last momentum transition that I will be showing you guys on the ground. So let's say that you are Chris Weidman, all right? Now you are in one of the worst positions you can be in MMA, in grappling, in jiu-jitsu, whatever. This is back mount flat. I mean, it's not as dangerous in the game as it is in real life to be here, but let's just say that you found yourself here as Chris Weidman. What can you do though? What you can do is you can roll to mount like that. But it does not stop there. When you roll to mount like that, let's get back to back mount. If you keep rolling in the same exact direction, you can get back to half guard a lot quicker. Watch this. Top mount, keep rolling, half guard. You see that? The same exact direction a lot quicker. Let's show that to you guys one more time. I'm gonna get back to back mount. Jacare flattens me out. You're like, oh my god, no way. Top mount, keep rolling, and you got him. Now, it is the same exact thing if Jacare was in back mount postured up. So let's say he gets you to back flat right there, and he postures up, and from here he's raining down blows, and you block a few of those shots. You make your way to top mount. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Same direction. You're back to half guard, and you're safe. All right, now, as I'm doing this now, I want to experiment as I'm recording with one more thing. So I'm wondering if this is actually a momentum transition or if I need to suggest that it becomes one. So let's do this. I'm gonna roll as Chris Weidman to mount, and then I'm gonna try to roll Jacare. I'm trying to roll Jacare to full guard. Let's see what happens. No, he doesn't have that. Hold on a sec. I believe Jacare has that transition here. Let's do it with Jacare. See what we get. Get up, Jacare. Alright, Weidman. You take him down. Come on, come on, come on. Top mount. Now Jacare. Oh, come on. Jacare cannot roll to his back. I see. So it's not a possibility because... Okay, what I was trying to do. So Jacare does not give up his back. See that? Hold on a sec. Hold on one moment. Chris Weidman, go to side control. Jacare, you go to sprawl. Weidman, take his back, buddy. Take his back. Now flatten him out right here. Now let's see. What I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna roll the top mount, and I want to see if I roll the top mount, can I keep rolling in the same exact direction and get Chris Weidman back to full guard? You ready? Top mount. Roll, 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 roll. No, that is not a momentum transition. Can we please get a momentum transition right there? Per favor. And that will be it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Hope it helps make your time grappling in EA Sports UFC 3 a lot more enjoyable. I understand there's so much wrong with grappling in the game. It's really not that fun. There's a lot that's missing. It can get boring and stagnant. But I believe that if we all used everything that we've been given in the ground, momentum transitions, contextual transitions, and we don't focus so much on denying and holding, and you know, we roll. And we all use all these tools. I believe grappling is not only just going to be more interesting, but it's actually going to feel faster and more fluid because that is the way that it was designed. It's just that for some reason, holding position and denying transitions is now the meta on the ground. But I'm hoping that as time passes and the ground game is more fleshed out and more positions are added and it's improved on better, it can truly feel like grappling, the way grappling should feel, and actually be an interesting thing to do. But that's it. I'll end it right here. Thank you for watching. It means a lot. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you found it informative, don't forget to share it. And I will see you guys with the next one. As always, stay safe. Have a wonderful day.